Hey guys, I'm Brian. Welcome to my channel, travellerscoach.com. I'm gonna introduce my friend Mustafa. He's from Yemen. Let's listen how his life in Malaysia and also introduce his home.
My name is Mustafa Ali and I'm from Yemen. I am 35 years old. I'm an entrepreneur. I live in Malaysia for over 2 years now. I love the food. I love everything about Malaysia. I find Malaysia very interesting. I like Malaysia because of the culture, how people are living together, different cultures, the Indians or the Malays and also the Chinese. And I like how the food, the fusion, cosmopolitan life that they have in Malaysia. And also I like how Malaysia is safe, how it's actually operating well in terms of economy-wise, business-wise, as an entrepreneur like me. I really like that. I network in Malaysia in many different ways. As I said to you, I have always traveled around the world. I'm a well-traveled man. I actually use social media as platform of networking. I use social media, Facebook, event, couchsurfing, for example. I use internations, so many different platforms, meetups. There are different ways of networking, whether if it's sport. For example, I like hiking and I like futsal. So I do attend weekly futsal sessions. I go to hikings every couple of weeks once. I meet new friends there. Really fantastic events organized by internations and different platforms where you can actually network with foreigners, or if you want to say expats. And that's how I network. Regarding networking with Malaysians themselves, I usually network in regularly going to a pub, restaurant, meeting new friends in shops or shopping malls and things like that. My favorite food in Malaysia is quite tricky because I'm not a really spicy eating food person. However, I would say mamak, the Indian kind of fusion Malaysian mix that they have, I really like that. Even though I don't eat a lot of spicy food, but as long as it's controlled, it's fine. I like that you have a lot of ayam, and I really enjoy that. Another thing which is very interesting about Malaysian food is not only the Malaysian food that you have here. You have Korean barbecues everywhere, you have Japanese fusion, you have a lot of different Asian food in here, and it's like the sky's the limit. You're tired of all of that? You have African food like South African, and you have many different cuisines like Italian and Western and all of that. So food is fantastic in Malaysia, and it's very affordable as well. So the reason I chose Malaysia to start a business is simply because Malaysia has a very strong and stable economy. Also, the government in Malaysia historically is very stable. No political issues or so on. It's very safe, and Malaysia has a very low taxation system comparing to the Western country. Therefore, I decided to start business in Malaysia. Thank God I was successful so far. I've been doing this business for about 2 years right now, and I can say it's fantastic. There's not much big difference between the Yemeni, my country, the Yemeni culture, and the Malaysian culture, except the fusion of people that live together in Malaysia. 30% or 40% of the Malays that I met in Malaysia, they tend to have a Yemeni last name. And then when I did some research about it, apparently Yemenis are the ones who brought the Islam to Malaysia. And there's a lot of Yemeni culture in Malaysia. That's why I can find a lot of Yemeni culture within Malaysians, like as in especially the Malays. So I feel home sometimes because the food, a lot of similarities, and the way they dress, and especially from the southern region of Hadramaut. And I see a lot of Hadramaut restaurants around here, like a lot. Almost in every area there is a Yemeni restaurant. Let me tell you guys about Yemen. Yemen is a very historic country, over 10 to 11,000 years of history. There were so many cultures and history happened there, including a lot of famous kingdoms. One of them is the Kingdom of Sheba. I'm sure everybody knows the Queen of Sheba. Basically, Yemen has a lot of cultural things. I can't even count it. It's like uncountable. You have to Google history of Yemen, and you will see a lot of incredible stuff. For example, I'll give you a quick fact. The first skyscrapers in the world was in 𝙤𝙤𝙥𝙥 in Yemen. The capital of Sana'a until now is a UNESCO heritage site, because the houses in there, they're up to 5,000 years old houses, and people still live in it. Yemen is very rich with minerals, especially it's rich with oil and natural gas. Yemen is actually very big land, it's huge. Unfortunately, at the moment there's a lot of issues within, in general, the Middle East, and Yemen is suffering from that. You know, a lot of issues are happening. There's little wars happening in Yemen at the moment. Hopefully, finger crossed, that it will be over soon and Yemenis can have peace finally. The other thing I wanted to say about Yemen is the food. Yemen is very well known for its food, especially in Malaysia now. If you see, there is a lot of Yemeni restaurants almost in every corner. The most famous dish is mandi. It's called mandi. And the Yemeni food is very tasty, very healthy. A lot of things are cooked with ghee, and lots of smells in the Yemeni food in general because of the spices. The combination is beautiful. So I wish I could tell you should visit Yemen, but I wouldn't advise you at the moment.
I think for Chinese, when we met, we always will ask, have you eaten?
Yeah, I realized that in
Yeah.
Malaysian culture.
Malaysia Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had your dinner yet?
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. 𝙤𝙤𝙥𝙨. Have you had your dinner yet? It's like you have to give the action, you know, like the question action, like 𝙤𝙤𝙥.
Okay,
You know? Because the same thing can be not a question, like 𝙤𝙤𝙥, like you had dinner.
Okay.
Could be,
Oh.
unless if I said 𝙤𝙤𝙥, like the question action. Yeah,
Okay.
So if I already have dinner,
Then you say أيوة اتعشيت شكرا. Thank you. Yes, I had dinner. Thank you. أيوة اتعشيت شكرا. In Arabic, we have one word to say I love you, and it's called, if it's a male, you will tell him أحبك, and if it's a female, then you say أحبك. So back for the male and big for the female.
So can you say the last for all the Malaysians? Say I love you,
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
أحبك يا ماليزيا، أحلى بلد في العالم. شكرا.